What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, now the current head trader at True Trading Group. For those that don't know, TTG is the fastest growing, highest rated online premium educational platform available today at True Trading Group. Results matter, folks, not just broken promises and empty words here. Results matter at True Trading Group. And because of that, we have one simple goal, and that's to help you learn, trade, and profit. If you guys are new, make sure to like and share this video. Most importantly, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, because 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live for free on this YouTube channel where myself, other TTG Pro Trader moderators, and special guests drop golden nuggets and free lessons that will help you guys become better traders. But why should you listen to any of the stuff I share with you on these live streams? Guys, I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I began my career working for a fund in New York City, 2007, my very first job out of college. Then 2008 happened, the Great Recession, the housing market crisis, the stock market crash. But during that same year, I actually went on to receive one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. And that was all done during a time period when the markets went down 55% from 2008 to 2009. So don't worry about it, guys. We've got a little bit of a pullback here in the markets, but where there's fear, there's opportunity. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that today on this live stream, because I actually made a move today in my long-term portfolio. We're going to talk to you guys about that here as well. But before the award, before that with the hedge fund, they would not even let me touch $1 of their money until I went through their educational training program. I had access to some of the top trading tools, and I was part of a community of like-minded traders. And that is exactly what the True Trading Group platform is based on here now today. You guys seem to really enjoy the joint Q&A last night that I did with Adam. For those that don't know, Adam is my partner and co-founder of True Trading Group. He joined me last night for what was a very entertaining Q&A session. So we're going to do that again here today. He's going to come on, and we're going to go over that. So we're going to start off, like I said, with a 15-20 minute Q&A. Adam will join me. Then I'm going to break down my trades today. Great day today, guys. Made some nice money short NVAX. Made some nice money actually short CEI today. Had one basically non-event trade in Bros, and then that was really it. So 2 nice winners today out of 3 trades, both to the short side. So funny that you guys, that we're starting to see some of this this shift in market sentiment. And now you have a day like today where I come right into the markets firing and have a nice short on MVAX. We have a nice short too on CEI. I'll talk to you guys about both of those trades, and then I will tell you and talk to you about what did I do today in my long-term portfolio that I think a lot of people here might want to or know about, or maybe very interested in hearing about my thought process and the moves that I made in that long-term portfolio today and what I plan to do in the coming weeks and months ahead. All right. Then lastly, I will show you guys the entire TTG platform. For those that are interested, I'll show you guys all the resources, all the tools, everything that you have access to as a member. We'll do that later at the end of the live stream for those of you that are interested. So without any further ado, guys, we're going to start that Q&A session in just a minute. All right, so go ahead, guys. Begin typing your questions in chat right now. Remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question. The only thing that is stupid is not asking your question. So let's go ahead right now and start that Q&A.
Michael.
Adam.
How are you tonight?
I'm quite well. How are you?
Doing well. I have my LaCroix. Best you never guess where I'm from.
Best you'll never guess where I'm from.
You're from New Jersey. They don't have a baseball team.
Baseball team. All right, guys, what do you got for us? Fire away.
All right. I got some questions from some members earlier. I'm going to start throwing them up on the screen.
All right, cool. I like that. I like when we have them ready to go.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Why didn't any of this say? Okay, here we go. First question. I'm new and interested in trading, but this does not seem like the right time with the market the way it is. Question mark.
Whew. Okay. No. Do not think of it that way. That is the absolute wrong way to think about it. Just because the markets have pulled back 5%, guys, it's 5%. It's nothing.
Oh, put your SPY chart up. They like it when you put your SPY chart up.
They do like it when I put my SPY chart up. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me get my SPY chart up here. Okay, so guys, like I said,
better.
Yes, we have experienced a little bit of a pullback here in the overall markets. Okay. Yes, we've had this little pullback. This is only a 5% pullback, guys. Okay. This is not, we're not even at what is considered a correction. Okay. And it is very, very, very common to experience 10% corrections within bull markets. What I will tell everyone is even if you think the markets are getting ready for an absolute disaster of a crash, even if you think that's what's coming, you should never feel like it's not the right time to learn about the markets and to learn about active trading, because during moments of decline in markets, that's when you have moments of intense volatility. I talked about this on last night's live stream. The moments of intense volatility are where the opportunities lie. It's where wealth is created. It's where a lot of money is lost and a lot of money is made. And most people will lose money during market crashes because they're not educated. They don't understand what's going on. First of all, they wait until the market has already crashed to then start selling, because they feel like, oh, the markets are no good. The markets are down. I should get out. Well, no, your time to get out was before the markets went down. After the markets have already gone down, that is the time for you to start to buy. That is the time for you to start to go shopping. And this is the biggest difference between professionals or financial institutions and your average retail trader and your average mom and pop investor, that they don't pay attention to what's going on in the markets. So they don't know the markets are bad until they see news headlines, stock market crash. When they see news headlines, stock market crash, there's a reason why the news headline is coming across that day, because the markets have already gone down. Then those people will sell out of the markets after you've already experienced a large crash, and they will stay out of the market until they start to see headlines, stock market at all-time highs. Then they say, oh, stock market's doing really well. I guess maybe it's time for me to start to get involved. And then what do? They start investing at the all-time high. This is the greatest transfer of wealth that the world has probably ever seen when you have stock market crashes. And it's literally your average retail investor, mom and pop, taking all of their hard-earned savings, and they go, here Wall Street, here hedge funds, here professional traders, here you guys go, take all my hard-earned money. Do not let that happen to you. Ever. That's why it doesn't matter if the markets are at all-time highs, if the markets are crashing, if the markets are going sideways. You guys, there's never a bad time for you to learn about the markets and for you to get an actual education, so that when opportunities present themselves, you have the wherewithal to act on them. Okay? Don't wait until the markets are at all-time highs to decide, hey, you know what? Let me give this stock thing a shot. Because when the markets pull back, that's when the opportunities present themselves. So, not to mention on a long-term investing standpoint, but also on an active trading standpoint, when markets go down, they go down fast. Markets always go down faster than they go up. That has always been the case. It will forever always be the case. Stocks go down faster than they go up. That speed and that volatility creates tremendous opportunity for active traders. You can short stocks, you can buy put options, you can buy inverse ETFs, you can buy the UVXY. There's so many different things you can do to make money when the markets go down, instead of just sitting there twiddling your thumbs, watching the balance of your 401k drift lower and lower and lower and lower. Rather, you could be positioning yourself in other things to make money while the markets are going down. Then you take those profits after the markets go down and they settle. You take those profits and you push them. You put them right back into the same stocks, okay, that had come down, because you're getting them at significantly cheaper prices. And that is how you guys will be able to build wealth over time. If you've been a part of my channel for a while now, you'll know in March of 2020 and April of 2020, when we were experiencing the COVID crash, markets went down like 30 or 35%. I was screaming from the rooftops on virtually every live stream, begging people to take advantage of this sell-off that is the greatest wealth building opportunity of my lifetime. And that includes 2008 and 2009. I traded through that. markets went down about 55% from 2008 to 2009, but I didn't have anywhere near the money that I have now back then. So I wasn't able to take advantage of that as much as I was able to this time around when we got that huge pullback in March and April. So you guys want to be able to have an education enough to be able to profit from that down move, and then also have the wherewithal to know when is the right time to start to step back in from a long-term investing standpoint. So, don't look at it like, oh, the markets are pulling back. Now's not a good time. Now is the perfect time, because you want to make sure you're educated before, if and when we do get a significant pullback.
Very nice. The next question I have is a two-part question. It's a little bit long, so I'll ask the second part of it first because I think they meant to put that first. So here it is. The first part of the question is here. Mike, when you mentioned in chat that you will go to the grocery store, quote unquote, what does that mean?
I'll go shopping. That's what that means. It means I'm going to go shopping. So when the markets pull back, okay, everybody should always have a shopping list. A shopping list are the stocks of companies that you really like, that you want to own or you want to own more of. So that when you do get moments of decline in the markets, you have these buying zones on these stocks that are on your grocery list. So if the markets start to crash and the markets are down 15, 20, 25%, you are then going to want to take advantage of that moment to go shopping. And that is going to be your opportunity to add a lot of the companies and a lot of the stocks that you have liked for a long time, but you either don't own because the stocks are too expensive, or you don't own enough. You want to own more. And then when those markets give you that pullback, you got to take advantage of those opportunities. Have the shopping list ready. Don't wait for the markets to go down and then think about what stocks you want to own. I already have a list of 25 different stocks that if we do get a significant pullback and crash, that I'm going to go right to, and I'll probably buy all 25 of them in one day. All right, those are going to be like my number ones. I want to buy those first. And then I have a long list of a bunch of other stocks. I mean, you don't have to have a list of stocks that long. I mean, I've got a really long, in-depth portfolio. You guys don't have to have pick 5 stocks, 10 stocks that you want to own. And then that's what I mean by if and when you do get that market pullback, that is when it's time to go to the grocery store. It's time to go shopping. That is what I mean when I use that phrase.
All right. Second part to that question is as follows. Here we go. All right, so I guess today in chat, at the end of the day, I guess you spoke about, just exactly what you're speaking about now, about how your intention is to not only be prepared for yourself, but to help others be prepared for when this happens. Because when it happened in March, you even tried to get me ready for it, and I didn't listen at that point. So the next part of the question is this, and this is actually really good because I know the answer is there's more to it, but I mean, so the question is it as simple as wait for the bottom to fall out, then buy whatever you can, or is there more to it than that?
I mean, there's more to it. There's more to it than that. There's more. You can't just say wait for the bottom to fall out and then buy whatever you can, because what defines?
I think what they're asking is like, how important is it to actually know what you're doing, or is it just as simple as, okay, Tesla's, I'm just giving you an example. Tesla's down $150. I'm going to buy it now.
Right. No, there's a lot more to it than that. Understand. This is what I mean by getting yourself educated now, so that you guys can be able to make the right decisions during times of what everybody else sees as chaos, but I see as opportunity. And again, anybody, if you guys are new to the channel, if you don't believe me, just literally the videos are there. Just go onto the YouTube channel, go to March, go to April. You'll see me almost every day telling you guys this is the greatest wealth building opportunity of my lifetime. So be my guest, go and check out those videos. It's important for you guys to have an education, understand how to take advantage of this stuff, because when markets do start going down, you guys have to remember the markets went down 50 to 55% from 08 to 09. And remember, 08 was the year that I won the Trader of the Year award. And it was because of my positioning that I was in on the way down. It was mostly because of my short positions that I had on a lot of the banks, the U.S. banks. I had short positions across that sector, and that's really, that performance is really what catapulted me to the top of the performance for that quarter, which ended up giving me the award at the end of the year at our holiday party. So, it's not just as simple as, okay, wait for the bottom to fall out and then just buy whatever you can, because what does that mean? What does that mean for the bottom to fall out? How do you know, okay, if you see the Dow's down 800 points in one day, is that it? Is that the bottom falling out? Is that, let me step in and start to buy? No, because the market's being down, the Dow being down 800 points is virtually a very tiny move in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about a 34,000, 35,000 point Dow. To go down 800 points, 500 points, that's not a very big move. That's not the bottom falling out. You have to look at it this way. If you go back in history and you look at the worst stock market crashes that this world has ever seen, the market is not going to go down 80%, 90%. It's never going to happen. 2008 to 2009 was the greatest financial disaster that this world has seen. And the markets only went down 55% from peak to trough, from high to low. During the COVID crash, we went down about 30 to 35%. You're not really going to get very many crashes that are going to exceed that percentage decline. You're not going to get the Dow is going to go from 35,000 to 5,000. All right. You're not going to get an 88% decline in the NASDAQ. That's not going to happen. The only way that happens is if the zombie apocalypse takes over. And if that's the case, we got much bigger things to worry about. You got to worry about living on canned foods in the woods, and money is no longer relevant. So don't worry about the stock market at that point. The market's not going to go down 80 or 90%. So what I have traditionally done as a rule of thumb throughout my entire investing career is, my rule of thumb is, when the markets have gone down, let's say approximately 15%, that is when I have, over the last decade, started nibbling on my shopping list, where once you get to that 15 to 20% decline, 25% of the cash that I have on the sideline that I want to put into the markets goes into the markets at that point. Once we go over a 20% decline, that puts you officially into bear market territory. And a 20 to 25% decline is typically you will see me put in 50% of that amount of money that I want to put to work. And then anything over 30% in the downturn is where that final 25% goes into the market. There have not been very many declines in history that have gone down more than 35%. You can look at the Great Depression, okay, in the 1920s. And then you can look at the dot-com bubble bursting in 2000. You can look at the 1987 crash. You can look at the 2008-2009 crash. And then you can look at the COVID crash. Those are really some of the biggest crashes that the market has ever seen. And they're really the only instances where the markets have gone down more than 30%. So you have to put that into perspective when you are anticipating a stock market crash, or you're trying to figure out when is the right time for me to start buying. A lot of that has to do with, though, what is the reason for the crash? A lot of people don't actually understand what is the catalyst causing the market to crash. If you don't understand the catalyst causing the crash, how do you know when the crash is over if you don't know what the catalyst was that caused it? How do you know a crash isn't a 20% decline? How do you know it's not a 30? How do you know it's not a 40? How do you know it's not a 50% decline? You have to know what is causing the crash in the first place. You can have a lot of people that can come on, they can talk about, resistance levels and support levels, but not actually have any type of macroeconomic understanding of what's moving markets. So that's first and foremost. understanding what is actually moving these markets, understanding how to build a shopping list. The other biggest mistake that I see, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see amateur investors make. When markets crash, what do? They go and they buy the stocks that have gone down the most. They go and they find the stocks that dropped 70%. And they go, I'm going to buy that one. Why? Oh, because it's cheap. It's cheap. It came down 70%. That means it's going to go, it has a much bigger, there's a lot more room for it to go higher. And they disregard the stock that's only gone down 25%. Even though the whole market's gone down 35%, this one stock's only gone down 25%. And they go, oh, I don't want to buy that one. That hasn't gone down enough. Hasn't gone down enough. There's a reason why that stock's down 25% and this stock's down 75%. There's a reason why, let's say, a stock like Apple would only go down 25, 30% during the COVID crash, but something like American Airlines or Carnival Cruise goes down 75%. There's a really good reason for that. Look at the performance of American Airlines from the March low compared to the performance of Apple. You know what? I'll just show you the performance. So here's Apple from the bottom of March all the way up to new all-time highs. That's Apple from the March low. That's what Apple did. So if you were saying to yourself during the COVID crash, I'm going to buy Apple, look at what you are sitting on here now today. Oh, but I don't want to buy Apple. Apple only went down, 30%. I don't want to buy Apple. It's not cheap enough. I want to go and I want to buy American Airlines. Oops. I want to buy American Airlines. That's what everybody says. I want to buy American Airlines. Well, look what American Airlines has done since the March bottom. Not even comparable. Look at Carnival Cruise. These stocks are nowhere near where they were prior to the crash. Nowhere near it. Not even freaking close. Carnival was a $45, $50 stock before COVID. It's still at $25. It's still a 50% drop from the pre-COVID prices. But you take a look at Apple. Okay, obviously you had a stock split in here, so the prices are affected for that. Apple was an $80 stock before the COVID crash. Now it's a $150 stock. The stock has doubled from where it was before COVID. It's tripled from the COVID low. This is the biggest mistake I see amateur investors make. They immediately go towards the stocks that are down the most because they think they're cheap. There's a reason why they're cheap. They're the stocks that institutions and money managers and hedge funds wanted to sell first. That's why they're down so much. They're the stocks that nobody wanted to own. The reason why Apple did not go down anywhere near as much is because it's the last stock everybody wanted to sell. It's the last stock everybody wanted to sell. And that's why it went down the least. You want to buy strong stocks in a weak market. You don't want to buy weaker stocks in a weak market. One of the most costly mistakes that I see amateur investors make. Do not fall victim to this. And this is why, this is what I mean by people oh, is it just as simple as wait for the market to fall out and buy whatever you can? No, it's not that simple because a lot of people stepped in March and April. I didn't buy Carnival Cruise, but I bought the ever-living crap out of Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, NVIDIA, AMD, Roku, PayPal, Square, Netflix. I bought the hell out of those stocks. I didn't buy Carnival Cruise Lines. So there's a lot that goes into being able to buy dips and to buy stocks during crashes, guys. And, a lot of people are starting to get really nervous lately. And I'm telling you now, this is the moment. Guys, you got to understand, when the markets go down, that's when you need your education. When the markets go up, it doesn't matter. Everything goes up. When the markets are going up, all you got to do is be in the market. You'll make money. It's like when Bitcoin made its first run, when Bitcoin went from like 1,000 up to 20K, it didn't matter. You didn't have to have an education. You just had to be in Bitcoin and you would make money. That's it. Just be in it. You didn't have to know what you were doing. You didn't have to know even what Bitcoin was. When the markets are at all-time highs, you just have to be in the market, right? And everybody makes money. When the markets start going down, that's when you get tested. That is when the professionals separate themselves from retail. Don't make these mistakes. They are costly mistakes that will literally cost you generational wealth by making these kind of mistakes. Because instead of you putting money into something like Apple or AMD or Amazon or NVIDIA, I mean, guys, NVIDIA, are you kidding me? You could have bought NVIDIA at $50, $60, $70. The stock went all the way to $220. There's obviously the stock split that's in here. Don't make these mistakes. They are costly.
All right. Here's a good question. I think you've covered this already, but I think it's still a good question. I don't know if you've covered it tonight. Here's a question from a member. When COVID in the world was at its worst, we did nothing but make new highs. Why is the market selling off now?
It's a great question. So allow me to explain. And this is why, what I was talking about earlier, why it is so important for you to understand the reasons why markets go up and down, right? So many people in 2020 lost so much money trying to short the market because they said to themselves, the economy is closed. There's no economic growth. Therefore, the markets have to go down. I remained extra bullish since 2020. And anyone that's been following my channel for a while, you guys know that. 2020 of last year, I actually did a live stream in December of 2020, right around the holidays. And I made a statement and I put my neck on the line and I made a public statement. And I said that I believe 2021 is going to be a major bull market. And I said, I believe the energy sector specifically is going to be the best performing sector of that year. That is verbatim what I said in December of 2020. You guys have been following my channel for a while. You can verify that that's exactly what went down. But if you don't believe me, you guys can just go and watch the live streams yourselves. Go back to December and go watch my live streams from 2020. Because what the Federal Reserve did in March and April, and ever since, completely changed everything. The market rally while COVID was going on and the economy was at its worst was a liquidity-based rally. It was a stimulus-based rally. You had free money coming into the economy and into the markets from every single corner that it possibly could. So yes, were all of the businesses closed? Yes. But did it matter? No. Why? Because all of those businesses, they got money. They got PPP program. They got forgivable loans. You had people get stimulus checks. You had interest rates at zero. You had the Federal Reserve step in and buy hundreds of billions of dollars in treasuries and mortgage-backed securities and other different assets to stabilize the credit markets. You had the Congress pass trillions of dollars of stimulus into the economy to help sustain the running economy, even though the economy had come to a screeching halt. So the activity had come to a halt, but the money being circulated actually accelerated. You had more money being run through the economy than even when the economy is open. It was a liquidity-based rally. So this is why when everybody is, and I got a lot of messages from people on live streams towards the end of last year, like, Mike, what do you think? Are we going to crash? Are we going to crash? And I literally said, no, I think we're going to rally our faces off as long as the Fed has our back. Don't fight the Fed. Don't fight the Fed. If the Fed is dovish, be bullish. If the Fed is hawkish, be bearish. Don't fight the Fed. And a lot of people tried to fight the Fed, and they got their asses kicked. So now, the reason why the markets are having trouble now is because you're starting to see the side effects of that liquidity that came into the economy. The side effects are inflation. You also have, throw in there, the Delta variant, which actually slowed down economic growth, while inflation continues to rise because of supply chain disruptions and different bottlenecks around the world in different supply chains. Add on top of that, the labor shortages and the tightening of the labor market, which is being, it's actually really kind of tough right now, because with everything going on, you have a lot there. You have vaccine mandates with a lot of different companies. And that's actually causing, people to lose their jobs, and people are actually willing to walk away from jobs to not get the vaccine. So you have people that are actually leaving the labor market. So on top of that, you had everybody that was getting all of their unemployment, their extended unemployment benefits that were choosing not to come back to the labor markets. You have so many different situations that are putting such a strain on labor markets that is forcing you're forcing all of this inflation to just continue to run, because now even, a $15 minimum wage, it's not even keeping pace with now inflation. So now you have rising wages, and people are trying to entice people to come back to work and try and do this. Right? So add on top of that, with everything that's going on for this and for everything that's happening with inflation, that's the repercussions of what took place when we were pumping all of this cash into the economy, both from the Federal Reserve, but also from Congress. And now we're getting to a point where the Federal Reserve, which has had their foot on the gas pedal this entire time, is now getting ready to take that foot off of the gas pedal. And that's where the markets are now starting to pull themselves back in, because the markets would have pulled in regardless if we had inflation or not when the Fed took their foot off the pedal. When the Fed took their foot off the pedal, you would get a pullback in the markets. You're not going to get a major crash, but you would get a pullback in the markets when the Fed takes their foot off the pedal. Remember, the Fed is a major part of the reason why the markets rallied in 2020 and in 2021. Then you had excellent, amazing earnings growth in 2021, which was not difficult to do because the economy went from 0 to 100 miles an hour. So it was easy to get really strong earnings growth in 2021. So you had really strong earnings growth to further that earnings growth and that multiple expansion, coupled with the Federal Reserve's liquidity rally, and that just pushed markets to all-time highs seemingly almost every single week in 2021. Now the Fed's getting ready to take their foot off the pedal because they have to. You're also getting earnings growth is starting to slow down. It's going to be damn near impossible to keep pace with 2021's earnings growth. And then you have things like Delta variant, any other future variant that could possibly slow down that growth as well. And people are starting to look at the 2022 forecast and they say, damn, the Fed's not going to be buying, is not going to do their asset purchases, 120 billion every month, which is what they've done since last year. That's going to stop come probably December. Okay, so instead of 120, maybe they do 95 and then 75 and 55 and 35. And so eventually they're going to go down to 0 by the middle of next year. So that is the Fed taking their foot off the gas pedal. You also have earnings growth is starting to slow. Earnings expectations are slowing because they don't think they're going to be able to keep pace with 2021. Things will come back to a normal level, which is actually a decline. So that's not looking all that rosy. And then add on top of that inflation. And you have this looming fear of inflation where if the Federal Reserve is wrong about inflation, meaning it's not transitory, it does not go back down to 2%, it stays up at 4, 5, 6, 7%, then the Federal Reserve will have no other choice but to raise interest rates aggressively to try to stop inflation. That would cause a significant pullback and sell off and crash in the markets if that were the case. And I think you're starting to see people are now beginning to say, I kind of feel like the all-time high is in, which I said to you a week and a half ago. A week and a half ago, I told you I think the all-time high for 2021 is in. I don't think we're going to get back to 454 on the SPY. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the all-time high is in. I still do believe that. I could be wrong. I still believe that. All right, but you're starting to see people now start to position themselves, say, oh, you know what, let me take some profit off the table. You also are going to have more than likely much higher taxes in 2022. So if I'm sitting there, and this is what I started to do, I'm saying I've got all these capital gains in my long-term portfolios. I don't really see that much more upside. I see a lot of risk to the downside. Next year, if I sell these, if inflation stays here next year and the markets crash next year and I sell stuff next year, it's going to be at a much higher tax bracket, or tax rate, I should say, because the Biden administration is going to raise taxes, I think, next year. It's just a matter of how high are those taxes going to be raised. So I'd rather take my profits now and have a lower tax rate and have more cash. So if we do get a significant sell-off next year, I've got a lot of cash on the sideline that I can go in and I can buy stuff back up. I'm being told we have a special guest tonight.
Yes, but not right now.
Oh, okay. Who is this guest?
None of your business. It's a surprise.
I don't like surprises, man.
I don't care.
I don't like surprises. Does that make sense to you guys? Everybody that's just kind of on the live stream, I hope I'm making sense to you guys. I mean, listen, if anything I'm saying to you sounds over your head, don't worry about it, guys. This is stuff that you'll get to learn as a member of True Trading Group, I assure you guys.
Mike, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Before we move on to some of the other questions that I have here, because I have a couple, is there anything else that you want to specifically cover about the SPY or the overall markets that you feel would be beneficial to people that are watching here tonight? Because, you know, I think you hit the nail right on the head as far as, look, I'll tell you just me personally, right? And I'm your business partner. Just me personally, I'm kicking myself in the ass for not buying everything I could in March of 2020.
Yeah, a lot of people are, man. A lot of people are.
You know? So, you know, I mean, I am. I know my father-in-law is too. You know, my father-in-law was one of the people that was like, yeah, I'm just going to stay in. I'm not going to do anything. And everything bounced back. But, you know, but he was another one. So I guess the thing is that we've covered that. You know, you've stressed the importance of education and why it's important to be a part of something like, you know, True Trading Group and all that prior to this thing kind of unfolding, right? But I mean, before we move on to other topics tonight, is there anything else SPY specific that you want to go over that you feel would benefit them out there?
You know, I just think that regarding the SPY specifically, I just think that there are a lot of catalysts looming that could keep this volatility going for, you know, the next couple of months. You know, I mean, this whole thing with the debt ceiling, I don't think we default on our debt. I mean, I don't. I mean, that would just be, you want to talk about just, I mean, you guys thought our government was incompetent over these last, you know, couple of years. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, independent, or an alien. I don't care what your views are. If you thought our government was incompetent prior to that, if we actually go into default, that is just, it's never happened before. It's never happened. It would be literally a first that would most likely send us into a recession. So I don't believe that is going to take place. Now, maybe I'm giving our government the benefit of the doubt, which maybe they have not earned, but we have to see what happens. If that debt ceiling does not get raised, then we have major problems on our hands. And you guys want to buckle up and get your butts in chat, because I'm going to rip SPY options to shreds and then we'll be ready to buy that sell-off once the dust settles. But you have to be able to understand what are the catalysts that are going to move markets. And right now, in my opinion, the catalysts that can cause the markets to go down outweigh the catalysts that can cause the markets to go up. And for that reason, I'm just beginning to kind of just take some profit off on my long-term portfolio, raise some cash. I will do that over an extended period of time. I'm not doing that all at once. And I will just, like I said, I want to pay a lower tax rate this year. I think next year, if I sell, it'll be at a higher tax rate. So, with regard to the SPY, I would just say to just be ready for volatility. I think that November, then we have probably a taper announcement. You probably have good earnings going into the end of the year, and then it's going to be all about inflation next year. So that's what we're going to have to be paying attention to. That's what I'm going to be following. But I think that regards to the SPY, guys, you just have to, you've got to have a clear head. You've got to understand why the markets are moving and what's causing markets to go up and down, so you guys can make informed decisions, not rash decisions and irrational decisions that are based off of emotions, because people get very, very emotional when the markets start to go down. Nobody gives a shit when the markets go up, but the emotions start running wild when markets go down, and that's when people make really bad decisions. So I'm not saying that there's this massive crash coming. Don't mistake me saying I'm peeling some profit off on my long-term portfolio. It's literally a tax bracket issue. And if they do raise taxes, I'm in the brackets that are going to be affected by all of these tax hikes. So I'm just being prudent. I'm raising cash. I want to pay less taxes, and I want to be prepared. If we do get a bigger pullback, I want to make sure I've got a lot of powder on the sideline that I can really look to step in.
All right, so this next question, I don't know if you're going to be comfortable answering it. I'm going to ask it because I'm also kind of curious. You ready, Mike?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? All right, sorry if this is the question. Sorry if this is private, but what did you sell in your long-term portfolio?
I can't even. So,
why those particularly?
Yeah, guys. So I went over this in great detail in chat. You guys have to understand, I'm not completely selling out of my holdings. I am trimming my holdings. Okay, so I own a lot of Apple. I'm just selling some of my Apple. I own a lot of Amazon. I'm selling some of my Amazon. I am not exiting these positions altogether, because in case I am wrong and the markets actually continue higher, okay, then I'm going to be pissed off if I've got no positioning. I'm going to be pissed off if I have no positioning whatsoever. Right. So I'm not selling out of all of these positions. I'm just trimming them. Okay. So if my most bearish scenario, like if I was on here right now and I was like, guys, doomsday, the stock market's going to crash, I would only probably get down to about 50% cash, 50% my holdings. I don't ever want to be completely out of the market, because I'm going to be invested in the market for the next 30 years, maybe probably longer. Okay. So I don't, any type of sell-off, I'm going to be buying anyway. And I don't want to get myself in a position where I'm in 100% cash and the crash never comes. Because what happens if I get into 100% cash, I sell everything and the markets actually go higher? Now I'm going to have a very difficult time putting that money back into the market. So I can't even come on here and tell you all of the stocks that I'm starting to trim, because it's like 200 different stocks that I own. I didn't do it all today. I started trimming today. And every green day that the markets have going forward, I'm going to trim a little more over the next couple weeks to couple months to get myself to where I've got a large cash position that I'll have flexibility with if we get a bigger pullback in the overall markets. So I did not sell any positions today that I am down on. There are holdings that I have that are negative. I'm holding on to those still. And I'll probably sell those closer towards the end of the year just to offset the capital gains that I'm going to have on all of the positions that I am selling. So I will liquidate some of those as well, just for tax loss purposes. And then I'll just buy those stocks back the following year. And obviously you want to avoid any type of wash sale rule with like buying the same stock back in 30 days. I'll have to wait 30 days and I'll buy those stocks back, and I'll realize the loss to offset some of the capital gain. But the capital gain, obviously, ridiculously, exponentially larger than the loss, but it will offset some of that tax liability. So the stocks I began to sell first are going to be my tech stocks, because the tech stocks are where I have the most profit and they're my biggest positions. So as I start trimming in the tech names first. So I hope that helps answer your questions.
Okay. You ready? I'm going to bring on our guest.
Yes, shoot.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do here is, last night you read a review online.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Mike's.
Yep. This review right here.
Yeah.
And it was one that you really enjoyed or whatever. So I was talking to Mike today in chat, and hell of a story, dude.
Really?
And I have him here now, and I want him to share that story with us. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's up, Mike?
What's up? How you doing?
What's
How's
up,
it going,
Mike?
man?
How you doing, bro?
Nice to meet you. Finally.
Yeah, man.
I see you, I hear you every day, but it's totally different when I get to talk to you.
I know, right? It's always, I love getting to hear, like, you guys get to, you see my face, you hear me talk all day long. I love being able to put a voice and a personality behind a username, man. And he actually messaged me in chat today. Mike and I were talking in chat today too. He sent me a message about the review.
Everything was 100% true in the review. I mean, I know there's a lot of skeptics out there, and I know when they hear it from a member, it's totally different. So that's why I decided to go on and, take part, take initiative and try to help out and try to show people that it can be done.
Yeah, man, dude, that was such an awesome review. It's like, as I was reading it, I was like, this is amazing. I even said on the live stream last night, I go, Mike, I literally told Adam, Adam, Mike is hired. He's coming on the live streams. I'm taking the day off.
I know. I'm on every live stream every night with you guys. And like I said, it totally changed everything. So a little bit about me, I guess Adam wants to get into.
Yeah. So real quick, just to give everyone a little bit of context. So typically we like to bring on members in here on the live stream, really any member that's willing. And we've brought members on the live stream that have done really well, members that are still struggling. We like to bring a whole assortment of people, no matter where they're at, to show everything, the good, the not so great, the bad, the excellent, everything. And when Mike, excuse me, and when Mike shared his story, I mean, it's just pretty awesome, man. So that's why he's on here. I wanted him to share his story, where he started, where he came from, because your story started in 2005, right?
Yeah. A very good friend of mine that I grew up with, I was never one for college. Once I found out you didn't have to go to college, I didn't go. And I didn't know at that time that I was only spiting myself, being 21, 22 years old, you think you know everything. And at that point, I really didn't value an education. I just figured, there's plenty of ways to make money, and I could just make money another way. A friend of mine that I grew up with went on to be a commodities trader for Bank of America. Nice. And hanging out with him and talking with him every day, I took an interest in it, and he started to show me a couple of things back then, but I couldn't spend the time with him because he was at work, and you can only learn so much after work hanging out. But I really did take an interest in it, and I tried. I opened an account and I did my best, and I wound up making some money, losing some money here and there, back and forth, but I couldn't make a living off of it because I just didn't have the education, and I knew I didn't. So I put that to rest, and I got into the Carpenters Union in New York City, building high rises. 2012, I had a bad accident. They dropped the panel on me, broke my neck, my back. I had 7 surgeries.
Oh my God.
So I couldn't physically work anymore. And to this day, I still have problems standing for long periods of time, sitting for long periods of time with the pain in my neck and my back. And when that happens and your life takes a change like that and you do a total 180, you kind of become to feel useless, like you have no purpose. You can't go to work. You can't do anything. So I started thinking, what can I do? And trading popped back into my mind. And I said, you know what? I enjoyed it and everything. So I blindly opened an account and I started trading 2 years ago now. And I would do okay. You know, I took a couple classes from other groups and everything, and they did show me some things. But again, like I said, it was their interpretation of everything. And I asked them, do you have a formal education? And the reply I got was, Thorpe taught me. I was like, so you read his books and you're telling me what you read? I could do that myself.
Right.
So I kept losing money and losing money and losing money and losing money. And I just kept putting money into my account because I had money. So I went below the PDT rule and I just add money and add money. And then when I finally kind of had enough and I was like, you know what, this just isn't for me. I'm down like 32 grand at this point. And I'm like, I can't just keep dumping money into this. So I came across you guys on YouTube. I came across a live stream and you were very honest. And that's what really caught my attention. Like, you're very transparent and your will to help people. It changes, you know, your perspective on things, because it's not like you're just in it for the money, you know. And I took the classes, I signed up, took the classes, became TTG certified. I traded on Thinkorswim's simulator, implementing the tier trading system. And I noticed while I was doing that my losses became very manageable. You know, I wasn't gaining 500 one day and losing 3,000 the next day. And I started to see the pattern developing. Like, I was writing down my trades and everything. And now I'm 100% into this. I mean, I'm up 5:30 in the morning. I have my coffee. If I miss the live stream at night, I watch it that morning. I take notes. I go through my watch list from the day before to see if there's any possible continuations for the next day, run my scans, do my analysis. And I still do use your checklist every day, but I compare it to mine. Like, I come up with my own and then I see how close and how far off I am. And over time, I've noticed myself getting a lot better at it. Like, even with the support and resistance, I was so far off and I thought I was dead on.
Right.
You know, I really thought I knew what I was doing before I got an education. And like I said, once, you know, you're winning, you're making what you think are good trades at the time. And like I said, you win, you gain 500 one day, 600 the next day, boom, 3,000. And then now you hear it in chat a lot of time where you're now revenge trading. Like, I got to make this back. I can make it back. So you up your size, you up your position size, and then you're down 5,000. And you're like, well, I was so close. Let me just add more money because I'm really getting it now. No, I wasn't. I had no idea what I was doing until I went through your classes. And now it's to the point where I've made my money back, all my losses. I finally paid myself for the first time last week, and I took a good portion of money. You know, my first real week trading with you guys, implementing your system, I was up 5 grand the first week. So I went out and I bought myself a whole new trading setup.
Hell yeah, man.
I got 4 monitors. I got a really good computer. And I said, you know what? I'm pretty good at it. I really am. And even my wife said, she's like, you know, you really have a knack for it. And it's like every day I wake up and I'm excited. You know, I go to sleep, I'm thinking about it. I wake up, it's the first thing I do. I turn my computers on. It's like, I can't wait for Monday morning now. I can't wait for the live streams because I want to see what Mike's going to say about the market tomorrow and everything. Right. And you are phenomenal. I mean, on the 22nd, you predicted what was going to happen this week. And it's true. I'm getting chills saying it now because I'm like, how does he know? Like, how does he know? But like you said, you've been there. You've been doing it for so long. And the patterns repeat themselves over and over and over and over. And that's where I went wrong. Before I got the education, I seen the pattern, but I didn't know anything about increases in volumes on break and low volume pullbacks. So it would break on low volume, it would pull back, and I double my position size. I was 100% sure it was going to break and I was going to hit it, and it dumped, and I lost everything that I gained. So I met you guys, and I haven't looked back. I mean, it's phenomenal. I love it. I love it. Now I have a reason to get up in the morning. You know, since 2012 to 2019, I'll admit it, I was depressed. You know, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go anywhere. I had, you know, nothing really going for me. Physically, mentally, it's a strain. And then finding you guys, it really changed my life. I mean, it gave me financial freedom. It gave me to the point where I could buy whatever I want now. You know, I don't have to worry about it. I know that tomorrow is another day. And my biggest thing was FOMO. Yep. That was my biggest thing. I'd see a stock running and I'd be like, man, I got to get in it. I'm going to miss out. And then it would dump and I would lose everything. But going through your courses and everything really gave me a mindset, and it really did change everything for me. So thank you guys.
Dude,
that's amazing. And one of the things I want to say real quick is that, you know, you said like, oh, you guys changed my life. You did this. We didn't do any of it.
You guys did more than you think you did.
All we did was provide the platform, the tools, and the community. You did the work.
Yes, but
there is no. You're the one that gets up in the morning. You're the one that made $5,000, and instead of go blowing it on whatever else, bought yourself a new trading rig. These are your decisions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important part here, is that Mike and myself and the mods, we're not, blessing people and doing favors and working miracles. We put together a good platform.
Excellent. That
you guys can run with. And I think that's what separates True Trading Group, is that it's not, it's not try my courses, my super special secret strategy that's going to make you $1 million. It's here's all your tools. Yep. Here's a damn good community, and run with it. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you do. You got to give yourself that credit.
I do, but I give myself a lot of credit, actually, because I became very, very disciplined with my trading because of the education that I received. Like I said, I would blindly jump in a stock, not knowing anything, just seeing it running, seeing it pull back a little bit, and just be like, it's going to go. It's going to keep going. I was wrong that time, but the next time I'm definitely going to get it, and I'm going to make up that money because I'm just going to double my position. If I buy 500 shares and it runs 20 cents, I can make $100. But if I buy 5,000 shares and it runs 20 cents, I can make $1,000. But it doesn't work like that because the risk is there. And I was never one to realize the risk. I was always a bad gambler growing up, always a bad gambler. And when I first started trading, that's what I was doing. I was gambling. I wasn't trading. I felt like if I wasn't in a position, I wasn't doing anything. And then, like I said, the courses, it changed everything for me. And I have no problem sitting on my hands now because I'd rather have the same money I had today, tomorrow, instead of losing money today on a stupid trade that I had no business being in.
I'd rather be bored than lose money.
Exactly. But you know what? I learned to offset my boredom throughout the day by just going over the charts. Yeah. Going over my watch list. When I'm bored, I got nothing to do. I just go over my watch list and I see what could possibly happen, if the pattern's still holding up and everything. So I've learned a lot. And thank you. Thank you. Because you guys don't think that you do a lot. Yeah, you put the courses together and all the moderators and everything. But I'll be the first one to tell you, you're the only group out there that does that. The only group. Everybody else, once they get your money, they don't know you. You ask them a question before you pay them, they'll answer it 100 times.
Right. Yep.
Like you said last night. And I've done that. And it's 100% true. So I'm not only coming on here tonight to thank you for number one, but I want everybody to know that what they are saying is 100% true. They are there for you. They do care about you. And it's not that they care about you because they want their business to do better. They care about you as an individual because they really do. And they can, and they will upset this market because you have a bunch of retail investors sitting at home that are getting educations now that can really disrupt this market. And I see it every day. I see more people coming into chat every day, asking questions, and it's great, man. It's great to see new members coming in every day. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm actually going hunting in Canada for 2 weeks, and I called the outfitter to make sure that they have internet there so I could bring my. I'm serious.
That's awesome.
I love it, man.
So I asked you before, and feel free to say no, but do you mind if I share rough numbers, what you were down, where you're at now after joining since June?
Yeah, I mean, you want me to go through it real quick?
Okay,
so here's when I got hurt at work. Obviously, I had a lawsuit because I couldn't work the rest of my life, which was substantial. So I had money in the bank. So I just kept dumping money in and dumping money in and dumping money in every time I went below the PDT rule. And I was down $30,000. They're almost $32,000. Then I took the education and everything. I think it was the 8th. Check my journal real quick. The 15th with that INDP trade, I made over 20 grand on that trade alone. And then on, I got on IRNT, I made over 14. And honestly, right now, I put my 30 back in the bank that I lost. And I'm up 72 now. So all total since
that's 72,000, not 7,200.
Yeah, that's $102,000 in 3 months implementing your system. I have to say that.
Yes!
I have to say that low so my wife don't hear.
Yes. It's only $1,000.
Yeah, I know. I hide everything.
Now
she stands behind me and she's like, I don't understand how you do it. She's like, it would drive me nuts. I'm like, oh, I lost $1,000 today. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, but I'll make it up tomorrow or the next day. I was like, it used to be $5,000.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay,
wow,
and so
man.
guys, for everyone that's listening, the moral of this story is make sure you're a member of True Trading Group and you have at least 4 monitors.
You want it? Look, it's nice. Mikey will like it. I'll show you.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, that's nice. That is nice. I like that.
Dude, I have the same keyboard.
Oh,
You know what?
Nice. I like
And
that.
you don't need it all. You don't. It's just I'm a very visual person. I can't have a laptop and go from stock to stock to stock.
Right.
I can't do that.
Yeah. Dude, it was crazy. My when I used to work at the fund, so the guy that was my mentor, the guy that was my boss, he had 10 computer monitors.
Crazy.
10. So he had literally 3 across the bottom, 3 across the center, 3 across the top, and then 1 more at the top, angled down because you can't even see what's on it because it was so high.
Yeah,
so it had to be angled down.
But I do have a smart desk, so when I get tired of sitting, I can raise it up and
nice
stand up. But I did order.
I've been meaning to get myself one of those. Because my back's been killing me lately. I've been
it's awesome.
I've been meaning to get myself one of those smart desks.
And you know what? When you feel yourself getting bored during the day, I just stand up.
Yeah.
And it kind of wakes you up. Like the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. I mean, it was rough trying to stay into it, man, but I did. And it's because I knew if an opportunity presented itself, I would be ready for it.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Dude, I'm so, this is like, So I had no idea he was coming on tonight, guys. By the way, Adam literally just sent me a message and was like, "I've got a surprise guest for you tonight." I was like, "Oh, okay. Who?" He's like, "Oh, you'll see." So I had no idea that he was coming on here tonight.
So now that I'm on, can I ask my question, please?
Yes, shoot.
It's about stocks. It's about trading. I've been trying to get it answered for a while now.
Shoot.
Every day you hear, Jason Simmons throughout the day saying, "Oh, the shorts, they should be covering soon. They should be covering." How do you know what dollar amount to expect the shorts to cover and a possible squeeze to happen? I've been trying to figure it out for so long, and I'm just
what dollar amount?
Yeah, like what price range the shorts?
What price? Yeah. Okay. So when I'm looking at a particular chart and I'm looking at a particular chart setup and we're talking about looking for a type of a short squeeze, which is what like INDP, IRNT, like the CEI, like a lot of those type of plays, what you're going to want to look for is literally the exact opposite of what we look for when we're getting into a trade long. When we're getting into a trade long, you're going to say to yourself, okay, here's my support level, right? My stop loss is going to be beneath it. I look for short setups where it is whatever just took place in the stock is a sign of weakness. And that sign of weakness is something, let me actually see if I can come up with an example that I can actually show people. Let me see. I want to see if I can find one. Like just
CEI. CEI is one I was going to ask you to break down anyways.
Oh yeah, this one. All right, yeah, I'll pull up CEI, and I'll actually, you know what, I will do that. We'll pull up CEI because CEI had one of those setups today. The CEI had a setup today that was a glaring sign of weakness type of a signal that reversed, and then you got all of your shorts just got squeezed on that. And I'll walk you guys through that today. And it happened early this morning at around 11 o'clock. So as I pan this in, we're going to go all the way in here and we're going to focus in. I want you to focus in right here. As we focus in right here, you're looking at this 11 a.m. price point. Okay. So and actually, let me go all the way here so we can see it now. So far, this setup is this is a strong looking setup. You've got prior highs. Right? There's your highs from the morning. We broke through it, heaviest volume of the day. Then you get decreasing volume on this consolidation. That's typically a good sign. The stock then tries to break through the high of the day and fails. A massive rejection candle with huge volume at the high of the day that takes you all the way back down to that previous high. This failed attempt, that right there, is something a short seller is going to look for. A short seller would read that and say, that's a failed breakout. This stock is weak. I'm jumping on this thing. I'm pounding it short. And all of a sudden, short sellers come in and they get short here. A huge percentage of this volume bar was short sellers. Once they realized this thing was not going to break, that's a bearish sign. So all of this volume in here, all this volume, a lot of this is going to be short sellers. Short sellers coming in, pounding, using this as their stop loss. This becomes their stop loss. So shorts come in, they pound it, looking for the stock to roll over and go red. It doesn't. And then all of a sudden, look at all the volume that comes in. That is your shorts getting squeezed. And then you see the stock just makes this huge rally. And then obviously you had the craziness. This is rumors of an offering and everything with CEI late in the day. This is actually when I shorted CEI later in the day. But this whole move, this whole thing that you're seeing right here, were shorts covering that position. So it's like you're going to look for levels that would be the opposite of what we would look for when we're getting long, right? Like you're looking for we look for signs of strength, and then we look for support to set our stop loss beneath. Short sellers look for signs of weakness, and they look for resistance levels to set their stop loss above. So once we break above, now the short covering begins. And of course, you still have longs coming in to buy the stock also. And then you get this massive move higher.
See, that was something that I never understood because one of the courses I took gave totally wrong information. They were saying that in order to tell like this, the volume candle on the seller would have to be a beat candle to the buying candle. Like the volume on the selling candle would have to be higher than the previous buying candle.
In order for that to be short covering? Or
yeah, like that's what they were saying. That's what one of the things that I never understood, because if you look at the chart, like at 1057, you got that big sell candle.
Right.
But if you go back to 1036, the volume at 1036 was 16,099,384. And even though you had a selling candle, I'm sorry, at 1057, the volume of the selling was not higher than the volume of the buying at 1036. So that's what I'm saying about these, that's someone's interpretation that I was banking on.
Wow.
I was banking on it and I kept losing money. And then I learned the right way.
Wow. Yeah. There is, there's so much out there that a lot of people talk about, that I've seen people discuss, that is just simply incorrect. I mean, for somebody to say that you need heavier volume on a sell candle than a buy candle is actually really, really stupid, because that volume is going to be different depending on the time frame candle you're looking at. I can show you a 5-minute candle. Okay, I'm going to show you a 5-minute candle. Now look at the difference in the volume.
Yeah. And that's
now,
what I kept saying to myself. I kept saying, man,
I can show you a 1-minute candle, right? I can show you a 1-minute candle. Now look at the volume. You said there was that buy candle, right? There was that sell candle. Well, now look at the volume.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a different, depending on the time frame you're looking at. And to look for a short cover is like, shorts covering is buying pressure. It's not selling pressure. So you might look for like what I just explained to you with that exact same setup is going to be a sign of weakness that's going to pull shorts into it. But it's a sign of weakness that's going to pull shorts in because it's a failed break at the high and it's a high volume rejection at the high, which a short seller would say that's actually a sign of weakness. So when you look at that as a sign of weakness, a short seller will now step in and start shorting this. And then they put their stop loss just above that resistance level so that when it finally does break, that's when, it's not a coincidence that you got this big volume bar that came in as soon as we broke through that high, because anyone that got short in here is saying, shit. And they all come out and they all start covering that position, which just further pushes the price of the stock higher. And it's just the buying begets buying. Other short sellers cover. People that are looking to get long, they start buying. People that are already long buy more. And that just keeps pushing the price of the stock higher. And it's just a snowball effect at that point.
Yeah, I mean, right before it ran today, you said, I don't think it's going to go much further.
Right.
And then it just blew up. I would have never expected it.
I did not expect CEI to go as high as this thing did. I mean, like you said, I said it in chat today. I'm like, I'm surprised that CEI has made the run. I did not expect this. I'm totally okay. And with this stuff, I did not expect this thing to have this much juice. I really, really didn't expect it to have this much juice. And that's why when this thing cracked late in the day, I jumped on that thing short. I jumped on it short right there at 402. And I was able to capitalize on all this downside. So, it's funny that I didn't participate in this up move at all. And then I
never traded it either.
I stepped in there and I shorted it. Like, it's just,
I never got in it either because I kept saying it was 60 cents a couple of weeks ago. Then it was 90 cents. I'm like, it's not going to keep going. It's not good. Then it was $1.90, $2. And I was like, it's got to top out. Right. And then I was looking today and you said, yeah, it's not going to go much higher. And I was like, I agree with him. I don't think it's going to go much higher. And then it just blew up.
Yeah.
The only thing I caught on it was the bounce off the close from yesterday. When everybody shorted and covered at the close from yesterday, I got a quick bounce on it.
Nice, man. Nice trade. That's a fast one. It's a confident trade. Nicely done.
It was just a fast scalp for, I figured when it was coming down to the prior day's close, you were going to have buyers stepping in to try to keep it green and try to keep that momentum going. And then you had the shorts that were going to cover because they wanted their profit. So
that's exactly where I covered, right?
Yeah,
You saw my alert go off.
I set
right
my
there.
stop loss a penny below your cover. It was like 302 was yesterday's close, and I had my stop at like $3, and I just got a quick rip out of it for a couple grand, and that was it. But
awesome, dude, absolutely awesome. Mike, listen, man, I gotta tell you, bro, I thank you so much for coming on here tonight and kind of sharing your story. It's just great because I read your review last night. So to have you come on here the very next day and people to put a face and a voice to that review, I think is really helpful. And I'm really just inspired by your story to be kind of down and out like that, and to come back and find purpose and have success.
It was life-changing.
Man.
And I mean, if anybody else is still skeptic out there, I mean, you got nothing to lose. You're going to lose more money by not having an education. I mean, an education will last you a lifetime. Even if you decide you don't want to trade anymore, you still have the education for later on in life.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's why I said, you know what? I've lost more in a trade anyway. What do I got to lose?
Right.
At least. And since then, I've never lost that much again in a trade. And that's because of the tier system. So I'm a firm believer of it now. And I will tell everybody it does work 100%.
It does.
Because it's a real crappy feeling to make 500 one day and then lose 3,000 the next day. You start second guessing everything.
Yeah, dude.
So, well, thank you guys. And like I said, man, I can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you, man.
I'm excited for tomorrow. I want to see what tomorrow brings. I can't wait
for every day. I wake up every day. So, fun fact about me: when my alarm goes off, the very first thing I do, I roll over. I turn my alarm off. I pick up my phone and I check the SPY.
Yep.
First thing I do before I even get out of my bed.
Yep. I lay in bed at night and I have it on my phone and I have my laptop, and if I can't sleep, I just go through charts and see what the closed at and everything. If I can pick up a continuation, and once you get it in you, it's very hard to get out of you. I don't know if it was the gambler in me from when I was when I was younger, but I love it, man. It's like, it's phenomenal. It really is. And even if I don't trade that day, I learn so much just by watching.
Yeah, dude.
So thank you guys. I appreciate you bringing me on. And like I said, if anybody else,
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story. Thank you so much. Just a lot of really inspirational story. I'm so damn proud of you, bro, to do what you've done and to have come this far. And the best part about your entire story is that it's just the beginning. That's the best part about it.
That's what gets me excited, because if I'm doing this now, what am I going to be in 17 years? You know,
that's awesome.
The next Gordon Gecko. I'll buy the matching McLaren, but I'll get different rims.
I like it, man. Mike, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Mike.
I appreciate you, man. I'll see you in chat tomorrow.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Later, man.
Bye.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Oh, what a dude. I love our group, man. I really do. I really do. It's crazy. I really do. It's nuts.
Well, Michael, I think this is where I bid you adieu.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Let me have some water.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
All right, guys. You're back to me. You guys are back to me. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, before I move on, I've got a couple of trades I want to cover with you guys today. Short NVAX, which was my big money maker today. It's where I made the bulk of my money today, was short NVAX. We caught this move right here. Okay. Oops. I'm not sharing my screen with you. Hold on. Short NVAX. This is where I made the bulk of my money today on this. Excuse me, on this NVAX trade. And then I also made money short CEI. We caught that move on CEI to the downside. So those are my two winning trades today. I also had like a non-event trade on Bros. But CEI and NVAX were the big winners of the day. And before I talk to you guys about these, you know what? Let's just go into them. I'll just go into these right now while I have you guys here. I'll just go into these while I have you guys here. Screw it. Let's go. Let's touch upon the NVAX trade first, because this NVAX trade is very interesting to me. And this NVAX trade is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on for the foreseeable future. And I actually think that NVAX could have more downside, down to around 175 to 180, barring there not being some type of fundamental catalyst or news headline within the company. Anytime you're going to trade NVAX, you're going to be open to headline risk. Headline risk is press releases from the company with regards to NVAX. You know, headline risk could be, you know, a press release regarding a specific sector, but with regards to NVAX, it's specific to the company itself. NVAX has submitted, or they've asked the World Health Organization for emergency use of their vaccine. They're doing trials for an influenza shot. They're going to be working on a single shot dose for the flu and COVID. There's a lot of things going on within NVAX that at any moment a press release can come out, and that stock could move up or down $20 based on what that news headline is. So you got to understand that when you're trading something like NVAX. NVAX could come out tomorrow and they can say that they are halting the trial on their vaccine, and the World Health Organization denied them use. The FDA denied their vaccine, and the stock can drop down to $120. On the flip side, you can come out with the stock tomorrow and say they've been approved for emergency use. They've got really good data on their single shot, blah, blah, and the stock can gap up to 240. So you have to understand that before you get into this. Aside from the headline risk, there's been a lot of insider selling within NVAX over the last couple of days, in the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of insider selling that a lot of people are starting to talk about. So I think it's still problematic that the longer that time goes on, yes, I literally just said up or down 20. Yes, that's what I said. Okay. So if you're looking at, depending on what the news headline is, depends what the news headline is. Stock can go up or down $20, can go up or down $80, depends on what the news headline is. If they come out with news tomorrow and said they're canceling their vaccine, then yeah, the stock's going to go down a hell of a lot more than $20. Okay, you're missing the point. The point is that headline risk on NVAX, depending on the news headline, the stock can move in a big way up or down because you have so many different catalysts that the company could give you an update on that can move the stock in a huge way. That's the point of the comment. Okay, so as you're sitting here looking at NVAX, this thing is breaking down from a technical standpoint. All right. This thing, in my opinion, is breaking down from a technical standpoint. We had a lot of resistance here. Okay. We had a lot of resistance here in the 260s that we have now failed to actually break above. Okay. That we have failed to have actually broken above. Okay. Multiple times we failed to break above this level. I thought we were going to get above this level right here. We were unable to stay above it. And now you have all this insider selling. I'm actually starting to see here what I noticed kind of today was you actually have a bit of a head and shoulders pattern inside of this. You've got a left shoulder, you've got a head, and you've got a right shoulder, and you have a neckline. So I started to kind of see this setup here today. Actually, it was yesterday when NVAX was what it was one of my top trade ideas yesterday for a short. The stock just ran away from me. I never got the trade yesterday. You guys were in chat with me. I tried to get my fill. The stock just completely ran away from me. I never got filled on NVAX yesterday, which really kind of pissed me off because this thing just dropped like a rock yesterday morning. And I never got into the trade. It just ran away from me all morning. And I was really, really pissed off about it. But it gave me another opportunity for it today. And you had a descending triangle pattern set up for it today. And we'll just draw the pattern across so you guys can kind of see this. Okay, you have a bit of a descending triangle pattern that sets up here on NVAX. And I'll make this a little bit, the lines a little bit bigger for those of you that are on smaller screens. If you guys want to see it, if you guys are watching on a smaller screen, you guys can see it here. So here's your descending triangle pattern. Let me be very clear. Descending triangles are neutral chart patterns. Neutral in the sense that they could be trend reversal. They could also be trend continuation. Something like a head and shoulders is trend reversal. Ascending wedges, descending wedges, trend reversal. Ascending triangles, descending triangles could be either trend continuation or trend reversal. So it's not necessarily a bearish or bullish chart setup. It's more of a neutral pattern. And once this thing broke below those lows of the day, that's when I stepped in here and I got short. So if you guys will go over back to the trade, my trade alerts and my fills, I'll give you guys exact timestamp. Where is it? Just going through my timestamps here, guys. Okay, at 10:21 a.m. 10:21 a.m. at 2:10:01. Now I'm short the actual stock itself, but what I always do, I shorted the stock itself. But just so you guys are aware, inside a True Trading Group, whenever I trade a large cap, I will always give you an option to coincide with that trade. So if anyone wants to follow my trade but doesn't have the capital to short NVAX, the stock itself, I'll give you guys options that you can look at as well. Okay. And then the option that I said to look at could have been the $200 strike October 22nd expiration put option when I entered this trade short at $210.01. And the stock just rolled out of bed. The stock rolled out of bed. It gave up that entire gap up, and this thing just went red, and this thing went deep red. And you got a lot of follow-through selling pressure off of what was, and I think is kind of confirmed now, a break of that head and shoulders pattern. I'm actually still short a small piece of this position, and I'm going to hold this for the next couple of days. As long as we stay below that previous neckline, I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more downside here. It's a small piece of my position, maybe like 12% of my original position size. I'm going to hold it. I will add back to it if the opportunity presents itself, because I think that NVAX, if we can't get back above that neckline that I showed you on the daily chart, I think the stock could drop to 175, 180. Again, barring there being some type of fundamental press release that the company puts out. It's going to be, guys, there's such headline risk with this company, with everything they have going on. At any moment, you can get a press release regarding their vaccine, and that could have a major, major impact on the share price of the stock. Okay. So again, there's that neckline. We got beneath it today. Now we're just kind of sitting here, and I want to see if we can get all the way down to this support level. So this is a major support level that you have here. I'll just draw it right here. I'll draw so you guys can see it. I'll make it a little bit thicker too, as well. Just so it's maybe a little bit easier on the eyes. Okay, so there's that support level, and I'm looking to see if NVAX can get down to there. I want to see if we can get down there. If we're left to trade freely and there's no press releases, I want to see if we're able to get down towards that level. But you do have a lot of support here, guys. 100-day, 200-day moving average. Don't expect just a clean flush through it. I expect maybe 2 or 3 days of consolidation here, and then see if we can get another leg to the downside. All right. So there you have it, guys. That was the. Oh, let me give you guys the take profits. I'm sorry. So we'll go back. So there was the entry at 210.01. 210.01, and then I'll give you guys all the take profits from the timestamps of my trading. 206.43 was a take profit. 203.44. 201.72 and 198.50. Okay, so I was just taking profits off during this entire. It's like every time the stock would drop, $2 to $3, I would take more profit. $2 to $3, take more profit. $2 to $3, take more profit. Okay, So there you have it, guys. You guys did well today. If anyone followed along on that NVAX trade, you guys can, shout it out in chat. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear about when you guys, how you guys do throughout the course of the day. Today was a nice day for us in chat with the NVAX short, and then obviously also CEI that I'll get to in just a moment. All right. So there you have it. All right. That is the NVAX trade from today. Next, we'll talk about CEI. All right, next we'll talk about CEI, which actually is trading higher after hours, and I've still got a piece of this position short as well. But again, it's a small piece. I've covered the bulk of it. CEI has been a slow, methodical climber. Okay, CEI has been a very slow, methodical climber for the last, for basically the entire month of September. This is not a very volatile stock. Okay, CEI is not a stock that it has not halted until today. It has made slow, methodical climbs higher. This is a stock that is not up $2, $3, $4, $5 in a day. This is a stock that moves, 10 to 15 cents, 10 to 15 cents, 20 to 30 cents, 20 to 30 cents. Okay, 40 to 50 cents, 40 to 50 cents. It's not a stock that's just ripping itself higher. It's a very slow, methodical stair step. All of a sudden today, this stock cracks. The momentum cracks, and this thing has a major flush and then halts. I looked at that right there as a sense of, Jonathan. Everybody welcome Jonathan. We only have 12 spots for our next small private study mentor, our small private mentor study group. We have 12 spots available for that next mentor session. Jonathan, our newest member of the TC family, everybody welcome Jonathan. So when you get that flush candle like that, guys, when you have a stock that is not normally volatile enough to cause a trading halt, which CEI is not. CEI is not volatile enough to cause a trading halt. Okay. All of a sudden you get this huge drop, and it actually turned out that there was some news about an offering. This circulating around social media. He gets this big drop and the stock halts. That to me right away, already when the stock is as extended as CEI is way overextended. This is a parabolic move. So I'm saying to myself, this stock is already parabolic. It's already extended. Now you finally get this crack in the momentum that causes a halt to the downside. That to me is a shift in momentum. And now it's time for me to look to try to actually get short. It was actually really easy to get a borrow on Lightspeed. Cost me $200 to borrow 10,000 shares. Was not a very expensive borrow at all. And we were able to step in here. After we came out of this trading halt to the downside, I want you guys to remember, we've talked about this previously with small caps that halt. We've talked about that to the other side when you're looking long. Prior halt prices can often act as support and resistance levels. Once this thing cracked and we opened up out of the halt, you had a quick bounce. We were unable to get back above that halt price. So I stepped in right there, and it was right here is where I got short at $4.02. Okay, I'll give you guys the exact timestamp from the trade. 2:40 p.m. at 4:02. 2:40 p.m. at 4:02. And then this thing dropped. I actually tried to cover some before the halt. I was not able to do so. My order got stuck inside. Okay. My order got stuck inside of the halt. I did not get a fill coming into that halt. So once we opened out of the halt, I took a quick piece of profit as soon as we came out of that halt at $3.55. Remember, I'm short from 4:02. Covered at $3.55. All right. After that, dropped another down, took another piece of profit at $3.26. And I'm still holding a piece of this position after covering a last piece at $3. And I'm still short a very small piece of this position. Okay. Still short a very small piece of this position. Right. So I still am in a small piece of both of these trades, CEI and NVAX. Okay. All right. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm not going to probably add back to these positions. I'm just holding on to these small pieces. All right. So you guys have it. All right. And that's it. Okay, guys, so there you have it. That's it. That's all we've got there. Those are the trade alerts from the day today. I hope you guys are able to learn something from all of these trade setups. What I would like to do here real quick now, guys, I told you I will show you guys the entire TC platform. For those of you that are interested, real quick, do me a favor, type the number 1 in chat. If you guys are brand new to the live stream or you are not a member of True Trading Group, go ahead, type the number 1 in chat right now. Okay, Manuel Gutierrez, Ruben Sanchez, Funny Fox, Skippy Jr., Bogey. Nice, guys. Excellent. A lot of people are typing the number 1 there in chat tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, guys. Just remember, okay, I want you guys to fully understand that True Trading Group, it is our goal to help people reach their goals of becoming consistently profitable traders by combining top-notch education with premium tools from companies like TradingView, Benzinga, Quote Media, Trade Ideas. We are a community of traders that all shares the same goal, and that is to learn, trade, and profit together. When you guys join True Trading Group, I want you to think of us as the Netflix or trading communities because you pay one price. You get access to the core of everything that we have. We have been moving the price of our membership up by a couple of bucks every day on our way as we move our price back up to over $2,000 because on February 1st, 2022, the price of our membership will be $2,500 because we continue to add a lot of features, resources, and tools to the platform. It costs us a lot of money to run all of that data feed through our platform, like scanners, whether it's a social media scanner, a crypto scanner, a stock scanner. It could be analyst reports. It's a news feed. It's a charting software. It's a simulator. All that stuff costs us a lot of money to have it on the platform. So that's why we have to continue to raise the cost of our membership. So we continue to walk the price of our membership up by a couple of bucks until we get to February 1st. The price will be $2,500. However, the idea behind TTG is to make these tools and education that's needed to succeed within reach for those people that want it. Okay, but we also do know our worth. We know that even at $2,500, it's still hell of a value with everything that you guys get access to. But the good news is we're not at $2,500 yet. Okay, you guys can actually use the coupon code TTG121 here tonight and get a 50% discount. Brings the price all the way down to $1,106, which is giving you guys now plenty of notice between now and the price going all the way up to $2,500 in February. Every day from here on out, the price will be raised by a couple of bucks every day, but you can get a 50% discount right now and pay just $1,106. Okay, a 1-year membership to True Trading Group normally would cost you $2,212, but until midnight Pacific tonight, okay, you guys can save that 50% and get that $1,106 price point. And the next 12 people that join TTG will get access to 2 free small private study group sessions. Guys, these small private study group sessions are your chance to get individual attention from a TTG moderator to ask questions, go over lessons and topics that you're having a hard time with. You can also communicate with other TTG members. The spots for these mentor study group sessions are very limited because we keep them very small so everyone can have a chance to participate and you can get individual attention from a moderator to make sure that your questions are answered. There are only 12 spots left for the next 2 small private study groups. You guys use coupon code TTG121. You get the 50% discount and access to those 2 small private study groups to get you guys started on the right foot. The membership is normally $2,212, but like I told you, tonight you can save 50%, brings it all the way down to $1,106. When you are joining True Trading Group, understand you're getting access to the top premium trading tools and products because you bundle together as part of your TTG membership. TTG is a platform. It's not just trade alerts and courses. There's a lot more to the program than courses and trade alerts, included with your membership, you guys are going to get access to Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed. Okay. Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed is going to give you guys news as soon as it crosses the wire. You cannot rely on something like Yahoo Finance that is 15 minutes delayed. Okay. You've got to be able to get news as soon as it crosses the wire so that you guys can act at the same speed at which professional traders can act. This is free, included with your membership. You do not pay $1 extra for any of this. Okay. You do not pay $1 extra for any of this. This is all included in your membership, as well as everything I'm about to share with you. You also get Quote Media's full book level 2. This is going to show you all the market makers inside of level 2, not just the ones, okay, not just the ones that your broker shows you. Okay, you're going to be able to see all of these market makers inside of level 2. Then you guys will also be able to use our trade simulator. Our trade simulator is going to be a chance for you guys to get to use and trade stocks and options with fake money, with real-time data, so you can practice implementing what you learned in the courses. Same simulator that's used at California State University, Fullerton, University of Whitewater, the University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, Berkeley, Haas, and Illinois Tech. Okay, the same simulator is used at those universities for their own training programs. You guys can use that exact same simulator now with your TeachD platform. You also get access to Trade Idea Scanner. This is going to be a scanner that's going to show you guys stocks and make new highs, new lows, that have unusual volume. It's broken down between small caps, mid caps, and large caps, so we can make sure that you are always focused on the best stocks and the hottest stocks during the day. You're also going to get access to our own proprietary scanner that's got the functionality of FinViz Elite, which will allow you to create and save your own scanners. It'll allow you guys to actually, the moderators, to share their own scanner settings with members in real time. And the best part, you can click on any one of the stocks that are on these scanners, and you'll be able to get downloadable, unlimited downloadable analyst ratings on that particular stock to see how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating on that particular stock. Wouldn't that be nice for you guys to actually see how many analysts have a buy or sell rating on a stock before you decide to trade it or to invest in it? Okay, all of this is included free with your membership. Then you also have our social sentiment scanner that scanners stock tweets, Reddit, Twitter, to tell you guys what stocks are being discussed and mentioned on social media the most. Okay, this will help you guys get in front of all these short squeezes and all these meme stocks. All right, you guys will be able to get access to all of this on your TeachD platform. So this is what I mean by TeachD as a platform. It's not just trade alerts and courses. You're also going to be able to use TradingView's Pro Plus charting software. It's one of the most commonly used charting softwares by active traders today. And you will also, of course, be getting at least a minimum of 10 easy-to-follow, actionable, real-time trade alerts per week from a community of traders that's currently sporting over an 84% win rate. We are fully transparent in chat. We keep a trading journal on our website that tracks every buy and every sell that all of our moderators make. We upload our trading activity to this trading journal each and every single day, so you can follow along and see how you'd be performing if you were following along with all of these trade alerts. Then, of course, don't forget about the 2 small private study groups. Guys, these are a game changer. I'm telling you now, you get individual attention from a teaching mod to ask questions, get the help that you guys need. Make sure you guys take advantage of them. Then you have the courses. The courses are a simplified version of stuff that I learned when I was working at the fund. All right. And we've expanded on that since. You've got 17 courses of beginner and foundation courses, advanced courses, options, trader psychology, swing trading, crypto, you name it. We've got it in text and video format, whichever is easier for you guys to learn. Okay, you get access to all the courses. There are no special VIP pro courses that cost more money. You guys get access to every single course when you join True Trading Group. Then you also have access to a video library that gives you well over an additional 100 hours of educational video content. These are workshops and webinars that we've conducted with our members covering a variety of topics like how to grow a small account, how to trade working a full-time job, how to resist FOMO, how to have confidence pulling the trigger. We also have Trader Palooza coming up on October 9th. Set your reminders now. Trader Palooza is free for all TeachD members, okay? But you must be a member to attend. It is a all-day long virtual trading workshop where the moderators and I will cover a variety of different trading topics in 1 hour long workshops. That itinerary will be posted up soon, so you guys can plan your day accordingly, log in, log out based on the topics that you want to attend, okay? Again, all of this is included with your membership. You don't pay extra for any of it. And of course, you have the chat room where the moderators and I share our screen with you. We're live on the microphone. We're calling out our trades in advance. We're answering questions. You can send us DMs throughout the course of the day. We're there with you from pre-market till after hours. We're there with you the entire day, folks. We're not gone after 2 hours and you'll have to fend for yourself. Okay, guys, seriously, listen up, because the price is being walked up by a couple bucks every day till we cross over that $2,000 mark. And even at that, it's still a hell of a value. But you want to talk about value at 1106, $1,106. You can get all of that I just mentioned. To put things into perspective for you, just the Benzinga newsfeed alone cost $1,400 a year if you guys went to Benzinga and got it on your own. You guys can get that Benzinga newsfeed included free with your membership, and you can pay just $11.06 tonight when you use coupon code THD121 and get access to the Benzinga newsfeed, as well as everything else that I had just said to you during this entire run through. Okay, you guys just saw the platform, you saw the resources, the tools, everything that you guys have access to. That is our goal. Our goal is to take the tools and resources that you need to be successful, put them all in one place for you at a affordable price of $1,106 for tonight only. Remember, that price is going to continue to be moved up by a couple bucks every day until we get to until we get to $2,500 on February 1st. Giving you guys plenty of warning now. Our goal is to disrupt this entire industry. In order to do that, we got to provide insane value and results at a price substantially less than any of our so-called competitors, because results matter at True Trading Group. And the results, the numbers don't lie. Over 80% of the members of True Trading Group are successful, meaning they're making money and becoming better traders. If you don't believe me, watch this. My THD fam, do me a favor. Type the number 1 in chat right now if you're making money and becoming a better trader with True Trading Group. Go ahead right now, guys. Type the number 1 in chat if you're making money and becoming a better trader with True Trading Group. Type the number 1 in chat right now. Now, if you're not a member, I would highly advise you pay attention to the amount of number 1s that are coming across the side of the screen right here, because all these number 1s, these are THD members that are making money, that are becoming better traders. They are also the same reason why I am confident enough to offer you all a money-back guarantee with your membership. Yes, you heard me correctly. I did not stutter. I am not lying. I'm not exaggerating. Everything I'm saying to you is on the website, so you know you're getting exactly what I'm saying to you here. Here's the deal. If you commit to me, I will commit to you. So if you go through the courses, pass the quizzes, and attend one of those private study groups, just one, okay, you get 2 of them, but I'm not even asking you to attend both. Go through the courses, pass the quizzes, and attend one private study group. If you do that and still do not make back your membership fee at least once during your membership, I will give you a full refund. I will give you all of your money back if you do not make it back. I'm not kidding. That is how much I stand behind this program. I put my money where my mouth is. At True Trading Group, results matter. It is not just empty words and broken promises at TTG. Results matter. And that is why I'm willing to offer anyone that uses coupon code THD121 to join this family. I will give you a money-back guarantee. I will guarantee your membership if you do those 3 things and still do not make your membership fee back. We have never denied one single person that has done those 3 things and requested a refund. We've never denied that person. We have a refund rate of 2.35%. 2.35%. I share with you that number not just to show you the infrequency of members that request a refund, but also to prove to you that the refund is in fact real. We have never turned anyone down that has done those 3 things and failed to make back their membership fee, because I believe if you go through this program, you go through these courses, you go through this education, you use this platform, you use this tool, you become part of this community, I believe that this can work for you. And the reason why I believe that is because I see the results our members are having. Over 80% of our members are successful. And if it was not the case, I would not be able to offer you a money-back guarantee. It is just that simple. We are also 5-star rated on Trustpilot, folks. I welcome, encourage, and invite you all to leave a review on Trustpilot. Well over 13 to read the reviews on Trustpilot. There are well over 1,300 people have taken the time out of their day to write us a review. I encourage you all to go read them. Okay, go read them. Again, guys, that is coupon code TTG121. That'll get you the 50% discount, and it'll get you 2 free small private mentor study group sessions that could be game changers to really help speed up that learning curve. All right. There you guys have it. Use that coupon code. Join me in chat tomorrow. I will walk you guys through this market environment. I will walk you through everything that I do with my long-term portfolio. I've begun to make moves in the long-term portfolio. I will continue to guide all of you in chat as I continue to make moves throughout the next couple of days, weeks. I will let you guys know what I'm doing, how much I'm doing, Okay, what stocks, what sectors. I'll walk you guys through all of that, as well as navigating this markets and the volatility and identifying those opportunities and giving you guys the same mentorship and the same guidance and the same education that I got when I worked at that fund in New York, because without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Remember, use coupon code TTG121, get a 50% discount and access to 2 small private mentor study groups. When you guys join, you guys get that money back guarantee there as well. If you guys haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and of course, turn on your notifications. Make sure you guys never miss out on any of these live streams. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow.